Welcome to Church Jams. Whoa, let me try it without my voice breaking. Welcome to Church Jams Now, the podcast where 4.
All right, Hulk Hogan. Brother.
Welcome to Church Jams Now. That's not my voice. Welcome to Church Jams Now, the podcast where 3 former youth group kids and current music nerds deep dive into Christian music from the 90s and 2000s. I, of course, am your co-host, Kylan Savage. With me, as always, is Mr. TJ Smith.
Man, I'm here bringing it back tonight, y'all.
That's right. You know, and here's something I will say. We are pretty dedicated to specifically that one line, here with me, as always, right? Because we will always try to find a way to make sure all 3 of us are on a show. It's very rare that one of us isn't. There have been a few times.
Only a few.
I mean, but less than 10%, right?
That's true.
Oh, yeah.
You might say we're a bunch of busybodies. I don't know.
And the man with the 3K suit himself, beautiful producer Josh Olson. What's up, Josh?
Hey, what's up, guys? TJ, I was going to use that too. It's just so easy to do, bringing it back tonight. You can use it in any situation.
That's true.
Anytime.
I know, it's great.
Yeah.
Well, you know what, though? We want to start off this episode by wishing everyone a happy Junezetta. Welcome home. We are here. We're going to land the plane. This is it, our last episode of Junezetta.
It's been a wonderful ride.
Yeah.
I
think it might be time to burn it down.
Oh, nice.
Since we're rounding the bend here on the wonderful month of Junezetta.
We just want to communicate to everybody that we don't know how much this has contributed to our popularity, but we love Jonezetta.
And we'll continue to be holding on to you, even if love lets go, as we move away from our series.
Yes.
We can always circle back. The love that will carry us.
That's true.
It will continue to carry us as Junezetta ends.
So we're doing our Bop 10. Right. If everyone's,
baby.
If we can all just get ready like a hot spaghetti, then we can get right into it.
Oh, that's a solid callback, man.
Thank you.
A solid callback to
out there
3 weeks ago
that have stuck with us for the entirety of this series. Are hopefully really enjoying that one.
I know I am.
Because I'm ready for some hot spaghetti.
I will say the meme that Evan made, the Friends meme of me saying hot spaghetti, is one of my favorite things I've ever seen.
No, it might be his best one. It's hard. I don't want to pick favorites, but that one, I lulled whenever I saw it.
I did too. It was very funny. And I showed it to my wife, and she's like, I don't understand this.
If you know, you know.
That's right. Okay, so we're doing our Bop 10. You know, I have to say before we get into it, one of our favorite things about the Bop 10 episode is hearing from listeners. We want to know what
That's true.
Your Jonezetta. I keep wanting to say Junezetta. It's really hard now that we've got it like in our heads. I want to hear your Jonezetta Bop 10 lists, because it could, and if you rank them, right, Josh, if they comment on our socials and rank them, then you're going to give them the special little
You'll get the same points that we get.
That's right.
So you can weigh in on the official Church Jams Bop 10 list.
That's so true.
Which is pretty exciting, you know?
Yeah.
For anybody out there on the internet that cares, get at us. Let us know.
So for anyone that has not listened to a Bop 10 episode, let me give a quick rundown. Essentially, you know, we pick our top 10 favorite songs. TJ usually tries to find a way to make me upset while doing so.
It's great because I never set out to do that.
What?
And then somewhere along the way, I realized
episode
that's
1.
exactly what's happening.
Episode
I'm like,
1.
Oh, no. It's never my intention. It's like I say something and then all of a sudden you're really offended and I'm like, oh no, what have I done? It always takes me by surprise.
I'm going to play into
every
this.
time.
How?
Then I lean into it.
No, that's patent.
No,
that's got to be patently untrue, man. Because you from the very first episode objected to the format of this episode.
Okay, well, on basis of format, sure. I'm always trying to break the game. So that on that basis, yeah, I like kind of being the chaos gremlin there. But as far as like when I have y'all help me pick a number and then I never choose yours, Kylan, that is just the chaos of the universe.
No, that is you actively.
Yeah, that's some Jeff Goldblum.
No, it's you
like
actively trying to upset me. I'm already look. My blood pressure. I know. You is already.
Nothing contentious has even happened tonight. We're just referring back to previous.
Okay, so to make the episode a little bit smoother, typically what we'll do is we'll each go through our 10 through 4, and we'll kind of do that in chunks, and then we'll each go through our top 3 and talk about them a little bit more. What was the order we did last time? Is it coming back to me?
The
Am I going to welcome home the original lineup?
I think you started last time because the last time we had Cody with us for the wedding one. It's been a while since we've done one. So
yeah.
No.
That's true.
So we could,
that was a great
if
episode.
you want to do that though, go for it. These Jonezetta records were both TJ wishlist records, so I don't know if you want to go first or last.
How about let's let TJ pick, unless he's going to be a backstabber.
I hate to be cruel to be young, but I think I want to be the middle child here. I want to be right in the middle.
You fit well in that space.
I think I want Josh. Thank you. I think I want Josh to lead us off, and then I want to go in the middle, and then Kylan, I want you to round us out.
Sounds great. All right.
How's that sound?
All right.
Cool.
Sounds
That's
lovely.
easy for me because my list is already entered into our official Bop 10 pivot table calculator. So,
BPJ loves those pivots.
Oh, yep.
Lest we forget.
The world runs on pivot tables.
I love the pivot table. I still don't understand what it is.
Me neither.
It's the pivot
We
table
never will, buddy.
and Gent. It's the friends we
We
made
don't need
along
to.
the way.
That's
Going to be the
that's what
shirt. And that's going to be the most
That's
specific piece of merch I've ever designed.
which is saying something.
It really is.
It really is.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I just wanted to start off and say that this, we talked about this with the wedding, that was like the band that had the least amount of catalog, but now we're going to a band that just has 2 albums. So we've got.
Yeah. It's very limited.
Is it like 21 songs to pick from? Which kind of makes it more interesting.
Yeah, like you would think, because I thought going into making my list that it would be a lot easier, but it was not.
It was tough.
It was really hard.
Yeah.
It honestly, I think, made it harder. Because I'm like, well, no, just listen to both albums.
Yeah, because you can just, there's plenty of time. You could do it all within an hour, probably. Hour 10. You could listen to both.
But then there's still so many songs that won't make it on your list, and it's just like heartbreaking.
You don't want to leave those out, yeah.
It's cruel.
It's so true. It's so cruel to be so young, which is not my number 10. Starting off, my number 10, I'm going with The City We Live In.
Nice. That's a good one.
Okay.
Yeah, which I feel like it's a lovely, more tender piece from popularity. Maybe gives you a good look into what you're going to get a little bit more of on Cruel to Be Young. And I really like this song.
Sweet. Your number 9?
Yeah. My number 9 one, this one was a little fun because this surprised even me. But whenever I really thought down to my list, I was like, I have to put this in my top 10. I'm doing I Watched You Out From Your Window.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
It surprised me, but I just love the vibe of this. I think it's the perfect way to close out Cruel to Be Young when the piano comes in at the end. Like, it's so simple, but it adds like so much. And I don't know. I'd be down for Robert doing a whole record of these little like song vignettes.
Yeah.
And I could just listen to him sing Ooze all day long.
Yep. Nice.
Yeah.
What's your number 8?
Number 8, I'm going to use my imagination to pick my number 8 song, which is Imagination.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
This one, as since we've done the episode, and I've been still been listening to Jonezetta even before Junezetta. This one has been definitely growing on me. I love all the different parts into it. Like we talked about, that it just kind of is a little all over the place, but I think it works, especially to close out the record. Introduces a lot of fun stuff that they're like, hey, it's the last song. Here's everything and the kitchen sink.
Right.
So I like it a lot. Okay. My number 7, this may be a little contentious. I don't want to lose any cred here, but I have some reasons. I had some upper ones that I was having trouble finding places, but I'm putting, this is way lower than it probably should be, but I'm putting Sick in the Teeth as number 7.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I wanted to
Okay.
kind of space out stuff and have like some good representation for popularity and stuff like that, but
Right.
Yeah,
So
so
Sick
it
in the
feels a
Teeth
little-
is your flex spot?
it is,
Wow.
and yeah,
Fascinating.
I know, it probably should be higher, so I'm counting on y'all to give it some points here, but I do just want to mention that Dave's verse might be, Dave Bazan, of course, his verse on this song might be potentially the highlight of Cruel to Be Young, which I was thinking
Right.
is not a dig against Jonezetta, but I think it's a compliment that you can write a part so perfectly for Dave Bazan that he can come in and just crush it, and it feels like it always should have been there. And
That it fits.
yes,
Absolutely.
yes, and just the whole the whole
No, I
verse
see
is,
that.
I mean, the whole song is just weird in the best way. The whole song is,
Yep.
and it's amazing.
I'm kind of fascinated by that, Josh, that you, I mean, obviously you acknowledge like it's maybe a contentious choice to put it on as your number 7, but I think it's really interesting that you can acknowledge that part of the song is like one of your favorite parts across the whole record, and yet it's still kind of far down on the list. But I think that speaks to how dynamic the band is.
That's what I was
right?
about to say. It speaks to
That
how
you can
good
have
Jonezetta
a
is.
part in the song that's just one of your favorites of all time, but then the song itself can have so much competition.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited to see what else is competing and beat it out for
Yep.
higher spots.
Yeah.
Guys,
I'll-
I'm going to repeat what I said on our Cruel to Be Young episode. We here at Church Jams Now think Jonezetta is a good band.
Yep,
We do.
it's true.
We love them.
A plus.
Not to be
some
too
might say.
controversial on our third Jonezetta episode of the month.
Yeah, we don't really like them, right?
No, we
We're
just
not too.
had to cover them for contractual
Into those
obligations.
guys.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. So number 6, I'm picking Busybody.
Ooh, nice.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay.
I feel like we talked about it a lot on the episode for why it's so good. But yeah, TJ, I wanted to mention and call it because we briefly glazed over this, but how you mentioned the line, "Your loneliness is all I want from you," and
Yeah.
I don't know how you can interpret. You can interpret that, I guess, however you want. But I choose to interpret it as like he wants your loneliness, and by taking it away, like by providing his company, which I'm like, that's so like clever
Yes.
and sweet at the same
Yes.
time, and
Yes.
it's just genius. And yeah, Kyle's guitar solo, the
I
key
love that you-
change, Bonanza. Come on,
Yes.
Focaccia.
Focaccia.
Focaccia. That's my headcanon, you guys.
No, I love that both of
Hot
our
spaghetti and focaccia.
yeah, both of our headcanon misinterpreted Jonezetta lines are food based.
It's all about Italian food. Specifically Italian food.
Oh, I love.
I don't know why.
Yeah, I mean, their original name was Jonzetti, so I mean, it makes a lot of sense.
Jonzetti. When you're here, your
Jonzetti.
family.
Yeah, they were considering going into the restaurateur direction, but they decided to be a band
Yeah,
instead.
yeah.
They were like, we can either open an Italian place called Jonzetti
Right.
or be a band.
Right. Well, guys, I don't know if you know their original name was Catherine Zeddy Jones.
Dang, that's good.
Oh, that's good. We can end the podcast. That's the episode.
That's
This
been
has been-
Junezetta. That's a wrap on Junezetta.
May all your favorite Jones stay ZD. Oh my God. That's
Wow. Yeah. Yep, that's it. We're done.
Uh,
Can't go on after that. How am I
no.
supposed to follow that?
I don't know,
Oh,
man.
man.
I don't know.
great. Yeah, you got to keep giving us
the
your
only
list.
way I can follow that is to just shut it down and burn it down because I'm
Ooh,
going to
nice.
burn it down
Burn it
on my
down.
number 5.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's so
Very
good.
cool.
I love that. I think Ty mentioned that it's Steve Wilson, the producer, who has some BGVs on this song, and I think his vocal, his like just having another different vocal in there adds so much to the song.
Yes.
Like it's one of my favorite parts of the song, and the chorus
Agreed.
is so good. You get Jonezetta establishing the melody in a big way again, like they do so much on the next record. But I think you get like, hey, this is kind of what we're doing right now,
Right.
and we're gonna do more.
Yes. And I like that it was one of Ty's lyrical contributions. So that's
Oh yes, for sure.
fun.
That is good.
element to have on the list.
Yep.
A little Ty moment.
And let me tell you,
That's great.
as I listened to this record more since our episode, that was kind of like a late like a latecomer for me where I started being like, oh, I really like Burn It Down. And it wasn't until like right before our episode. And then since then I've been like, this is one of my favorite songs on here for sure. And it gave my number 4 song, Communicate, a run for its money.
Ooh.
Where while I was making this list, there was a time where I had Burn It Down above Communicate. And I was like, I don't know.
Wow.
Am I going to leave Kylan's favorite song and join TJ's from popularity? I don't know. But I'm happy to say Communicate won out, and it kept the number 4 spot, which is why those two fighting are why Sick in the Teeth is so far down. Because I was just like, I don't know where to put these, so 4 and 5. So that's what I'm going with. But yeah, Communicate just still gets me.
I'm already so excited because only 2 of your list have made it onto my list.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's fascinating.
That is fascinating. Oh, well, I guess we'll have to wait until
And
after TJ goes to find out what they are.
Well, I was going to say, you know why it's extra fascinating for me is because Josh and my 10 through 4 look somewhat similar.
Oh, wow. Cool.
There's some flip-flop kind of moments you'll see, but yeah, I'm excited because Josh, so far you and I are thinking.
Wow, I mean, statistically, there's going to be a better chance for Jonezetta that we're going to have a lot of songs lined up, but you never
Smaller
know.
well
You
to
never
draw
know.
from.
Oh, I love this.
True.
Okay, so TJ, let's get into your list.
Well, starting off number 10, we're already burning it down. And I actually, it's funny, right? Because yes, this was
your favorite song on popularity.
My top track when we listened to it for the episode. But going back through both records, there were just so many moments with other songs that I was like, well, this is why this song trumps that one.
Right.
And not to say that I don't still love it. Obviously, I had to get it on the list. But it did end up just kind of sneaking into the 10th slot. And those horns. I mean, come on.
Yes.
So good.
Those flabby horns are just the best. But yeah, Josh, I do think it's one of those that's a kind of a slow burn, if you will. It's a grower, and it has a good shelf life, and so yeah, it had to make the list. But then what's interesting is I think you had the City We Live In as number 10, right?
Yes, I did.
Did I have that right? So that's my number 9.
All right.
So we're not far off on that.
All right.
Yeah.
Get some points.
And I just like that one as a little more kind of a little more somber, like pensive moment.
Yeah, popularity is pretty
Right.
raucous, so it's nice to have like we're gonna bring it down, chill a little bit.
And as we've mentioned, there are moments across popularity that are pointing to "Cruel to Be Young," and I feel like there's a lot of stuff on this song specifically that does that, and so I like that
For sure.
And then 8 is the Queen City song.
Oh, nice.
Because in the inverse fashion, that City We Live In feels like "Cruel to Be Young," but not yet. Queen City song feels like popularity looking backward.
For sure.
Or looking back at popularity, but from an evolved place. So yeah, I like that one a lot. I think
The bass on it is
also
so
kind
good.
of it's so good.
And
And it's later in the record.
yeah.
But it just kind of comes up and like you're like, oh no, this is great. Like it's a little bit of a deep cut banger for me.
So I gotta say on the Bop 10 where it's just us and y'all are fully aware of how much I gassed up Ty on the bass on both of these records. I'm telling you, that was maybe like a tenth of how much I actually wanted to just talk about the bass.
You were toning it back.
We know.
I was toning it way down.
Yeah. I think we all felt the same.
Well,
like
yeah.
we could have spent the entire episode just talking about his bass work.
It's just stupid. Just shut up with that bass, man.
Just give him an own episode
I
for
know.
his bass.
Yeah.
Let alone the tone. Like the production
it's so
on these
good.
records is what it needs to be
so good.
for each one,
Yep. All right, TJ, what's your flex spot?
My flex spot is bringing it back tonight.
Ooh.
So obviously I love that one. I think it's also, I guess I've got a handful of these songs kind of further down on my list that I think maybe were underdogs on the track list.
Right.
But were great. And I think I wanted to have some representation on my
makes
list
sense.
that showcased some of those.
Yeah, you've
You
got 3 popularity side B songs already on here.
Right. I had to. I just couldn't not. And then, in similar fashion, my number 6 is Busybody, because I just think it's a great tune. I was tempted to put it a little higher, to be honest. I was very conflicted about that, but I don't know, man. There's just some other tracks that beat it out.
Yeah.
But Busybody's great. So Communicate was close to being number 6. It is not number 6. Busybody is number 6.
Didn't make it. Yep.
And I'll stop there. But moving on to number 5, Get Ready Hot Machete.
Get ready,
Had to be
hot
number
spaghetti.
5. Hot spaghetti. Hot focaccia. It had to be right in the middle of my list because I feel like it's this quintessential Jonezetta song, but I also feel like there's better sort of songs of theirs, but because it's this really iconic moment for them,
Yeah.
I like it right in the middle. That just felt like the right choice.
Yeah.
And then in my opinion, an even better song is the title track, Popularity, and that's my number 4.
Ooh.
Oh, cool.
So that's my 10 through 4.
Popularity representation so
Yeah.
far. Wow.
Yeah. And I had some honorable mentions that were that kind of thing of like they're either going to make the list or they're not, and we'll get to
Right.
those.
Did you
down the
expect
road,
so
but-
many other songs on Popularity to be ahead of your favorite song from Popularity when we did it a couple weeks ago?
No. I was shocked. Like listening back, it was totally different for me. And I think that's why I've had a hard time with the list idea and why it's taken y'all over and over again reminding me that it's just a moment
Right,
in
it's
time.
just a moment in time.
and
Yeah.
I don't have to take it so seriously.
Yeah. This was that for me
And that's all
because
this is.
normally I feel like I'm pretty consistent. Be like, whatever my favorite song on the album is, like that's where you know it's going to kind of fall on my list compared to the rest of the songs on that record. But this is where I was like,
Right.
man, I might have to change things around because of how things are feeling now versus whenever we did the episode, which is fun.
But I think that also, again, points back to how great a band Jonezetta is, how solid their discography is, even in as much as it's so limited.
Yep.
Yeah,
Like-
controversial statement, but
All the songs are
it's
great.
pretty good. It's
Not to be controversial, but
pretty good
Jonezetta,
band. Pretty good music.
good band. Thumbs
Good
up.
band. We
Trigger
like
warning
them.
out there.
Thumbs up.
Okay. I love that.
Excellent.
But yeah, a lot of popularity representation.
I
It's
know. I wonder if Cruel to Be Young is gonna sweep the top 3. We'll see.
It's gotta.
True. We'll see.
It's gotta.
It's gotta.
What you got, Kai Dog?
All right. So my list was as surprising to me as it will be to anyone.
Nice. Love that.
You're gonna pull a TJ and do a hidden track like on the
Well,
wedding.
okay, that's I was so surprised
That
that
would be
that the
great.
hidden track didn't show up on TJ's list. I almost put
Yet,
it
at
on my
least.
list. Right.
It hasn't
Yeah.
yet.
I'm gonna start my number 10 with Valentine.
Ooh.
Mm.
Yeah.
Very cool. I like that.
As we often say, our lists are just a moment in time, and I think my list might have been different even like 2 weeks ago, right?
Totally.
That song. So I really picked songs that have really like stuck with me, that have gotten kind of like hooked in my head over the past week,
Mm.
and Valentine was right up there. I love it.
Yeah.
Nice.
No, it makes sense. It's a really catchy song
Mm-hmm.
and just like endearing.
My number 9 is The Love That Carries Me.
Yeah. Cool.
I love the like real sort of like jaunty piano pop of it.
Yep.
It's just like a really
Absolutely.
good, it's got a little bit of swagger, but it's still like you could hear this in a coffee shop in 2010.
Yes. Yes.
Then my number 8 is Welcome Home. This is a
Cool.
song whose intro I listened to a ton while making the promo for Junezetta.
sure.
Yes.
It's just such a good album
And
opener.
it's a great intro.
It's such a good album opener.
Yeah.
Like, it just gets me
It's true.
fired up.
So far, all 3 of your songs are only entries. You're the first one bringing these to the table so far. So
No,
that's
I
fun.
know.
Yeah.
I know.
I know, I like
That's what I
that.
was saying.
I
like,
love it.
when Josh gave his list, I was like, oh wow, my list is very different.
Super different.
And then you
Yeah,
guys
I
are
love
like
it.
pretty in sync. So I'm assuming
Right.
none of mine are gonna make it anywhere on the list, and I'm already mad about it. So I might as well not even do this.
No,
We'll
flex
see.
spot. We
Who
need a
knows?
flex spot.
Okay, here's
Yeah.
what's so fun for me, Josh. When you were talking about your number 7,
Mm-hmm.
I can send you guys as proof that I'm not just bullshitting. I know I often bullshit on this show, but I last edited.
No,
I last edited
you-
my list at 5:22 p.m. today, and my number 7 was also "Sick in the Teeth."
Ooh.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Man, I was hoping that it would get a little bit
That's-
higher up.
No, I know.
I'm sure
know.
TJ will bring it home, but
Maybe.
We'll
Who
see.
knows?
We'll see.
oof, okay.
But yeah,
Ju-
I mean,
once
it
again-
was kind of all the same reasons it ended up where it did on your list.
Right.
And that was my whole thing with, I don't want to spoil what's the rest of my list is like, but with Cruel to Be Young, there are so many songs that I'm like, this could be my favorite, or this could be my
Right.
favorite, or
Yeah,
this could
yeah.
be like,
Yeah, yeah.
what do I do? Yeah, so that's the only reason why
Completely.
a song like Sick in the Teeth
Yeah,
could end up as a number 7.
for sure. Because
Right.
I also fully agree the Dave Bazan verse is maybe the highlight of the record, but as a whole, I just had some others that, it just ended up getting pushed down.
Mm-hmm. I get it.
That's fair.
Okay, my number 6, get ready, hot spaghetti.
Ooh.
Pretty close to where I had
Yeah.
it too.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's cool that we have a
That's-
hot machete representation. We have a hot spaghetti representation on our list now. I'm
That's
counting them
right.
as separate songs. So
Yeah.
Okay.
it's going to
that's
really
fair.
split the vote here.
Sorry, excuse me. Get ready, hot machete. Sorry.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
That's an
Sorry,
entirely
Josh,
different
saying that
song.
wrong. Okay, my number 5. I'm holding on to you.
Ooh.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's great.
holding on to you is my number 5, and my number 4. My number 4 is Wide Awake. You guys know I'm a big opening
Yeah.
track guy.
Yeah, you've got the first two
Mhm.
songs from both records so far.
Uh-huh.
Mm,
That's right. Well, it's pretty consistent of you. That's pretty cool.
yeah. All right.
Seems like a good strong variation on the lists that Josh and I gave.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
it's a
we're
little bit
Mixing
different,
things up, you know.
but
But these are where the big points come in.
that's right.
3,
That's
2,
right.
and 1. You can really shake up a list doing with these, depending on what people have on their list. So,
Which is why I put the
Yep.
interlude, the hidden track, numbers 3, 2, and 1.
and Untitled as well, right?
Perfect.
Yep. Nice. Well, much like Kylan, I guess you were holding on to you on number 5, and then Wide Awake for number 4. Number 3 for me, Holding On to You.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So much. The intro is perfect. Like it just once again, the communicative of it all, where like it starts and immediately you're just like, yeah, this is amazing. I love this.
Yes.
I love how much time is dedicated in this song to just doing like the melody. They're just doing the melody
Yes.
and stuff. And then towards the end of the song, like the last like 30 something ish seconds of the song is just them playing the melody. And then Robert's like just yelling, let go of me. And man, so good. There's a lot of just like
Yeah.
musical building parts of this song. And I think it's great.
I think it is, and somehow they construct the song in a way where you never get sick of said melody.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
it never gets old, you know, like you never get tired of it. It always builds on itself and feels appropriate.
Well, yeah, and this song
in the song.
specifically, and going into the bridge, they have the guitars doing the dan and the piano's doing the melody, and
Yep.
then they do it again, and then the guitars join, and then it's like, oh, we're adding another level to it. So that's how you can just keep building, doing the same kind of thing, but having that dynamic rise.
Yep.
yeah.
It's very well done.
Well, that's a great song.
Yep,
All right, TJ.
Solid.
What's your number 3?
Mr. Middlechild.
Surprise, surprise. My number 3 is also Holding On to
Oh,
You.
all right.
For all of the reasons we just described.
Yeah, now I'm bummed it's my
Yeah.
number 5. I wish it was my number 3. Just so I could.
But that means that it's a strong contender at
true.
this point
Got
very
the top
true.
spot
For-
right now as it stands.
for a top spot.
So,
Yeah.
can it hold on?
So that's
can
pretty wild.
Hold on to you? Hold on to the top spot?
Can it hold on?
We'll see.
Yeah.
Tune in later to Church
But no,
Names
I
Now.
think especially like lyrically, this song is really strong, in my opinion. I think we spent a good amount of time kind of digging into that. But on our episode where we covered the album, so I won't belabor the point. But I just think it's just a really well written song, not only musically as we've just said, but lyrically. It's really compelling but simple. Like, it's got the economy of songwriting that we often talk about, really respecting and valuing, but without lacking any depth. So yeah, it's kind of a perfect song in that way. So it had to be number 3
nice.
for me.
I love it.
Well, and then what Kyle was talking about of how like Robert, like you can tell he just means it in the bridge, and like it's like like the economy. It's like you can tell even if it is like economy and like can be simple and stuff, like it's coming from a real place.
Yep.
Yes,
for sure.
Yeah, you hear his heart.
Oh yeah,
on his sleeve. All right, Kyle,
All right.
what's your
My number 3
trace?
is much like TJ has been to me on all of these previous Bop 10 episodes. My number 3 is Backstabber.
Stop. Oh my god.
well, good setup.
Yeah,
good
great.
setup.
Yeah, Backstabber, man. I mean, that's like even a couple weeks ago, Backstabber may have taken my number 1 spot.
Dang.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
That's
like
wild, man.
the Jonezetta song for me. I think it was the first one I heard. It just, I think I talked about this on the episode. Like, we need more dancey songs about the hypocrisy of evangelicalism.
Yes.
Like, please. Yeah. It's just a good song. I love it.
That really sticks it to the Baptists who don't believe in dancing too.
Yeah,
Just like,
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's true.
Sweet. Okay, Josh.
Calling you out.
What's your number 2, my
all
man?
right. I talked about it a lot. I talked about it because like every time we talked about it more, it just kept getting higher and higher. But Paint and Picture, number 2, I think.
Oh,
Nice.
wow.
Just
Cool.
a perfect summer song. I love the vibe of the song, and I think it encapsulates the vibe of the record. And we talked about obviously like the lyrics of like Dig a Pony and all the other stuff, but like Lonely in Idaho might be my favorite part of the song to sing. It's just so good.
Yeah.
But then Turn Off Late Night Blue
That is a
Light. It's like
great
you know
line.
what he's saying, and it's like not like super veiled, but like it's still like super artistic.
Yeah.
I did want to talk about how, if I may go on a little tangent here, but I love the chorus
Please.
of him singing everything is gonna change, and that's the whole refrain. And then at the very end, he adds in there for the good, and I love that because I'm like, I feel like as people, when you hear like when he's singing everything is gonna change, and that's the chorus, like you can immediately. But like for me, I'm like, oh yeah, things are changing, like the fear of like change and just like that we have as people, and like he kind of lets you sit in that, and then at the very end he's like,
very end.
for the
Yeah,
good, and then you're like, oh, I should reevaluate how I think about change more often.
Yeah.
Thank you, Robert.
Change. Exactly. Yeah. And it is great that it's only one time at the end.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it could be a little much and a little like on the nose
Right.
if
If
it was
was
like,
every time.
everything will change for the good. Everything will change for the
Yeah,
good, like over
yeah.
and over again. That would
No,
feel
he kind of like
little
lets you
too-
sit in it. Like, how are you going to
pushy.
interpret this? And then I'm going to put it in there.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
So good.
Oh, that's great.
Great song.
Nice.
Good one.
It
All
is.
right. TJ.
All right. Well, my number 2 is Cruel to Be Young.
Oh,
I think it's
nice.
an incredible title track.
Yep.
I think it's a strong song. I think it has those like really nice harmonies. It's got that classic kind of rock, like modern aughts rock feel
Right.
that I want when I think about like bands of this era and of this style, and why I think Jonezetta is kind of at the top of the pile for those bands.
Yeah.
It has that kind of Beatles feeling underneath it, kind of buoying it up, but it's also pretty like bright and fun and feels modern, and is playing around with some cool ideas. I think it's really fun. I also like that it plays with the idea of change. Like there's the line, things are never going to change, right? So we talk about change, and how, you know, in one song he's saying things will change
Everything
for the
is
good.
going to change.
Right.
Everything's going to change for the good. But then in another, you know, out the other side of his mouth, he's also saying things are never going to change.
Yeah.
Things will stay the same. And that dichotomy or that paradox of like playing with the idea of change also feels really fun across their discography. And I think Cruel to Be Young is just, I just think it's a classic Jonezetta song.
Yep.
And even as a title track, I feel like it's a little underrated, to be honest. It's cathartic.
How
It's
can I
huge.
more
It's
properly
massive.
rate a title track? They gave it all the attention. But yeah.
I know.
Yeah,
Exactly. So it had to get my number 2 slot.
for sure. I love that.
Cruel to Be Young.
Excellent choice. Does CJ have
Yeah,
both?
baby.
Does he have both? He has both title tracks on his list. Well done. You've done it.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
I do.
Title tracks have been unlocked.
That's right.
New achievement unlocked.
New achievement. Title track.
All right, guys. My number 2.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
I love
Shall
to hear
we communicate about it
Ooh,
a little bit?
I love it getting so high up on the list.
Shoot.
Dude, Communicate.
As it deserves.
I mean, Communicate was one of my favorite songs from Popularity. I mean, it just
Yeah.
starts out with just that like really open guitar sound. And it just,
And the vocals are pretty massive too.
yeah.
Like
And it just keeps you
they're
interested
huge.
throughout the whole song.
Mm-hmm.
It's got some nice specificity. Like, I don't know who Isabel is, but
But it takes you
but it-
somewhere.
yeah.
It,
yeah,
like,
but
makes you think
there's
of a relationship.
Yeah.
Well,
Right?
it's
In the way
fun,
that-
like having like such a specific name too, because like you get a lot of like pretty like standard names in a lot of music,
Right.
like Isabel. That's great.
Yeah, because
How many Isabel
because-
songs are there out there?
Right.
Exactly.
Because even if you don't know that he's saying someone's name, much like someone, like a friend of mine that I know that listened to and loved this song for years without knowing what he was saying, you could still sing along because the
Right.
syllables are just great and the melody's great.
Are you the friend,
Yeah.
Kylan?
Who knows?
You can be. It's just a safe space. Was it
Safe
you?
space, buddy.
Did you think he said Isabel, like he's questioning is it a bell?
You know, that's a
It's a long
really
way
good that's a really good theory. And I bet my friend who just would
should
always
ask
sing
your
along
friend.
who just sang sounds because they were good
Because
sounds
they're good sounds. Yep. Yep.
probably thought that.
They're real into phonetics.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
phonetically
when you
it's a
find out
great
that it's
song.
Isabel, will it ever feel the same to you? You know, if we fell, could you tell?
Hmm.
If we didn't know that it was Isabel,
If we
could we tell?
put socks on Fox, hop on pop, guys. Okay. Guys, it comes down to this. Our number 1 songs.
The 10 pointers.
What do we got?
Ooh, okay, Josh, what you got for us?
All right, I'm leading this off. I didn't mention much on your last one, TJ, because my number 1 is Cruel to Be Young.
Ooh, yeah, baby.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Come on. I
Hell
love
yeah.
how it, like, when it starts, we immediately just jump into the verse. Like, it is just like,
Yes.
it feels like you just, like, jumped onto, like, a bus that's, like, moving, and you're just like, whoa, we're going, and I'm here, and I like it. Whatever
Yep.
that little synth key sound doing the melody in the verses, I don't know exactly what it is, but it sounds bubbly, and I love it. And it's just cool having another
Yes.
melody happening under Robert singing. But the big thing I wanted to talk about is at 30 seconds in, we're already into the chorus. And I was like, how
Yeah.
could Tooth and Nail not get this song on the
So
radio?
efficient.
And like it ended like you're like looking at 3:30 if you cut out the little
Yeah.
outro song on it. And I'm like, man, this is just asking to be on 89.7 in 2008 and 2009.
It's just
on Power
asking to be on Scrubs, my man. Like this is a
Yeah.
total, and I
Yeah.
mean
Scrubs
that
like
as
season
like
9
finale.
as like
or-
the highest compliment, right? Like because
No,
that's such a
completely.
touch
It's like a
point
finale
for
moment.
us. Like it's
Yeah.
a total
Yeah.
like Scrubs season finale song.
Yes. Moving through all the different characters.
Yeah.
Finally, like getting to the end of their season arc.
Yep.
Right. Oh, super cathartic.
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
and
I
you could
get
even
it.
pair like the Cruel to Be Young with if you have like an older character. Like they could have an older patient they're taking care of at the same
Yeah.
time and they're giving them life lessons
Ooh.
and you sneak in the Cruel to Be Young
All right, guys.
alongside
Church Hymns
it.
Now is
Should we just pivot to a writer's room?
is going
moment?
to reboot Scrubs just so we can
Scrubs now.
I'm sure it'll all work out.
Yeah, for
really
sure.
well for us. Yeah. We'll call Zach Braff.
Yeah, I'm sure Bill
Chuck
Lawrence
Lorre was it
isn't
Chuck
doing
Lorre? Was it
anything.
him? Bill Lawrence.
No,
yeah,
Bill
yeah.
Lawrence. Post Ted
Bill Lawrence,
Lasso.
that's it.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's not doing anything.
Yeah, he's not busy.
Yeah, no, he's got to have tons of free time on his hands. That's a great number one.
It is a great number one. TJ, what you got, man?
Okay, my number one has me feeling pretty sick in the teeth
Good.
because it made it on y'all's list, but like we said, it's so low down, and damn if it ain't a number one slot song.
But it's made it on all three of our lists, so it's got to get some
totally
pivot points. I understand how this
maybe
works.
some pivot points. If we get it, Kyler,
yeah,
you and me.
No, that's
it,
you got it.
It's such a gent
tables
song.
No,
rows
that's
and
what I was
columns.
saying. Like,
It's
tracks,
so gent.
tracks 2 through 6 of Cruel to Be Young for me, I just am like, I listen to the back to back. I'm like, this is my favorite song. No, this is my favorite.
Yeah,
song.
yeah,
No, this
I
is
know.
like, it's like
Exactly.
It's so
I know.
hard.
Yes. It's the best problem to have.
Jonezetta,
ever.
why you guys make such a
kinda
good
love it.
record? It makes it hard to do this list.
Yeah, stop it.
This is your
Cut it
fault.
out.
Really.
Yeah.
We're so
Go
mad
back
at
to
you.
being Rebecca Black.
No, Sick in the Teeth is great. It's it's like it's got this kind of swagger to it. It's got a lot of weird like production things happening, like the woodwind sounds and like or flute or whatever it is, and like the snare roll being kind of the main driving element for a while is like such a weird choice, but it works.
Right.
It feels like an As Cities Burn like collaboration almost in a
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
I think we talked about that on our episode. It feels like they figured themselves out on this track, in my opinion. You know, they were taking some big swings and it paid off in all the right ways.
Mhm. Like, it's so different. Like you said, the snare roll and then having like the acoustic guitar riff is the main thing. Like, they don't do that on any other
Yes.
song. It's
Right.
like, it's kind of like Cage the Elephant, and like, it's like
Yeah.
weird for
Right.
them, but that makes it awesome
Right.
because it works so well.
Yeah, and then it's got the huge stabby electric guitar with like bends or whatever it is, like coming in. So it's not that they're lacking that kind of angsty, angular energy. Like, it still shows up,
Right.
but it's just like, yeah, the production choices and the arrangement it's just like perfect. And yeah, I mean the Dave section, like,
Yeah.
I mean, come on, we talked about the bazan of it all already, but
Yep.
I gotta cite it again, and that's a big part of why it's the number one. Because, like you said, Josh, they wrote a perfect song that enabled him to just come and do what he does, and it work inside what they were doing, and that's a huge accomplishment, I think, as a
Right.
band, because so many
Because he's-
features
and
just
he's-
feel really out of place.
Yeah.
You know,
And he's such
And
a
this doesn't for a
specific sound, right? Like, he's such
Yes.
a
Yeah,
Yes.
he can't just
specific
put him on
guy.
anything.
Yeah.
Yep.
right. And then the chorus, I don't know, like, it's nothing personal. I just got to get you out of my blue veins. I love it. I think it's,
Yeah.
again, it's
so
so
good.
efficient,
So good.
but it says, I don't know, it speaks volumes.
Yeah. No.
That's my number one.
Why that song isn't in the running of like best Tooth and Nail songs or whatever is mind-boggling.
Yeah.
Just
Okay,
for the
also,
Dave Bazan
I mean,
feature alone,
just
but like,
why this song only has
Right.
31,000 streams on Spotify is
Oh,
insane.
that's stupid.
It's insane.
People are wrong. Go listen.
Yeah.
If you're out here
that makes me sick
like
in the
listening
teeth.
to this podcast and you've never heard that song,
Yeah.
turn this podcast off and go
Go
listen to that
to
song.
it. Yeah, it's so
On
good.
repeat. You can come back and finish the episode.
Yeah, we'll be here.
We'll
And
be
then-
here.
And then go listen to why Aaron Sprinkles tell you why that song is so cool.
Yep, exactly.
Yes. That's right.
All right. I'm glad
right,
I'm glad I
Kylan.
got some big points, TJ. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing
too.
that since Kyle and I put it so far down.
Yeah, but hey, it still made the list. It made all three lists.
Oh,
yeah.
it's
So-
making
No, I love that it's all in all three of our lists. That's great.
in my
Yeah.
podium. We'll see. Depends what Kylan has up his sleeve here. But
Okay. Well, my
Mhm.
my number one Jonezetta song, I'm happy to announce, is also now has to be objectively the number one Church Jams Now Jonezetta song. I have "Cruel to Be Young."
Hey,
there it is.
that's
Right,
great.
it's on.
I love
it's
it.
2 number ones and 1 number 2, right?
Yeah.
And one number
Yeah,
two.
so
Yeah.
it's like
There's
far
no
and
way
away.
anything
It's
could
1
beat with
point
that.
shy of the maximum amount of points you could
Yeah,
receive.
yeah.
Yes.
So hands
Oh,
down,
that's great.
the number one Church Jams Now Jonezetta song, "Cruel to Be Young." I don't have much else to offer in terms of why, because you guys both covered it pretty well, and it was hard keeping my mouth shut.
I know, right? That's
Yeah,
like kind
I
of
bet.
it kind of like shows your hand open. And you're like, oh yeah, cool. Good
I'm like,
song.
yeah.
that was my favorite
the whole
song
time I
on
was
the
just like,
record.
yeah, it's a good song.
Totally.
Love that it
Yeah,
made it there on
for
your list.
sure.
Yeah, good song.
No, I
to
did
be
notice.
fair,
I didn't.
to be
try to
fair,
play coy,
even if I
Roy.
went first though, that would probably honestly be the extent of my analysis. It's just a great song.
Sure. And that would be enough.
Right.
Like you don't have to
No.
over explain it, you know?
Yeah.
Yep.
No, it's
It's just a great song.
so good. It's so
It is.
good.
Yeah. But Josh, you were right that Cruel to Be Young featured heavily in my top 3. And I'm so glad that it also showed up quite a bit on y'all's list, because here we are with like a really, like well-established number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And I think, is this the first time we've had like such a powerfully
Is this the most points
far,
any
like,
song
far
has,
and away
has gotten?
number 1?
Let me see. I think I have them.
Pull up those pivots, baby.
Yeah, come on,
Yeah.
pull up the pivot tables. Let's pivot.
Yeah. Oh, dang,
Pivot
I didn't write
those-
down my wedding one. I didn't look at the wedding one, but that was also we had an extra person. We had Cody here,
and his
he got
points
5
were
points.
extra weighted.
Yeah. So currently
Yeah.
our highest one, not counting theirs because I didn't move his over to my archive. Currently, Godspeed had 22 points is the highest.
Oh,
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, so this is now. I mean, it's
So-
one off of a perfect score, so
Right.
it is the highest now.
nice.
That's rad.
That's great.
Yeah, that's cool.
I like it.
No one can argue with those results unequivocally.
No, it's the best
That's right.
Jonezetta song.
All right. Well, I have my score ready. If we would
Okay.
like to go into that.
Yes, let's do it. Let's get the
Let's get it.
official Church Jams Now Jonezetta Bop 10.
All right.
Let's burn this mother down,
Burn
Josh.
this mother down. It's gonna take all. Yeah, such a good song. Such a good song. We'll see if that one makes the list. I think it does. We'll see. All right.
We will, yeah.
Number 1, Church Jams Now favorite Jonezetta song. Top of our Bop 10. Cruel to Be Young at 29
right.
points.
Woo! High
Yes.
score, baby.
Almost a perfect score. Number 2.
Yeah.
All these top 3 are on top. Are all 3 lists.
Okay, well,
Holding on to
hold-
you.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
What?
Go ahead.
It's Holding On to You is number 2.
I really think that this might be the closest to consensus that the three of us may ever have on any band, right?
Right.
Because we
It
all
could be.
enjoy
That's
such
kind of what I was wondering.
different things, even about the bands that we all love. Like
Right.
our, there's obviously a lot of crossover in all of our lists, but I think this may hold the title for quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
seeming
we'd
like
have
it
to
might.
get a tie or a perfect score. So,
Right.
to knock it off.
Cool.
So remind me where Holding On to You was on y'all's list.
I had it
Holding On
at
to You.
number
was
5.
Number 5 for Kylan. Number 3 for me. Both top 3.
And then number 3 for me. Okay, yeah, it was two number 3s and one number
Yep.
5. Okay, interesting.
So, yep. At
Okay.
22 points, number 2 is Holding On to You. Holds on to the second place.
Cool.
Number
Sick.
3, I'm glad it still made our third spot, which is Sick in the Teeth.
Yeah,
So,
I knew it. It had to.
Yes.
It had
arguably
to.
should be higher.
No,
No, but
that's
3
great
is
because
respectable.
those
Yes.
But those are my top 3, just in a different order. So that feels really cool.
Mhm.
Like it just moved them around a little bit, just jostled them.
right.
Democracy.
That's really neat. Democracy, baby.
Democracy moved them around. But they're still up
love
there.
it.
They're still represented. Number 4,
Yeah.
Communicate. Getting some big
nice.
points.
Hey.
That's a good. That feels
Solid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was worried about this one because it didn't make my list, but I was like, it's one of those ones like, do we have to have the big songs make the list? Like, we have to represent them, right? Otherwise, we lose our cred. But number 5 is Get Ready, Hot Machete.
Yeah.
It's on both of y'all's
yeah.
lists.
Spaghetti.
Yep.
Yep.
Another song that was on
It
2
was number
lists
5 on my
for number
list.
6 is Busybody.
Nice.
That's also my number 6. This list is looking a lot like my list.
of course.
That's
TJ
cool.
somehow hijacked this whole thing to basically just be.
He
his.
did it instead of me this time. Yeah, he definitely didn't hijack it like I hijacked this number 7 spot to be Painted Picture with its 1 entry, but it's still enough to
Oh,
give
nice,
it 9
Josh.
points for number 7.
Okay.
But then
That's
Kylan
great.
did the same thing for number 8 of Backstabber.
Sweet. That had to be on the
Sweet.
list.
I'm glad that
somewhere,
made
right?
the
Like
list.
8,
Yeah.
8, like that feels respectable.
No, what's great is that it was one of my honorable mentions. So my honorable mentions were I Watched You Out From Your Window, Backstabber, and Communicate. And Backstabber was gonna either be number 10 or Burn It Down was gonna be number 10.
Right.
And I had to go with Burn
Yeah,
It Down.
that's a tough call.
So, but I'm really glad that Backstabber made the list because I think that's objectively the right choice.
Right.
Like I was being subjective, but this feels like just the classically correct choice.
Yes.
That's
sure.
cool.
No, I just wanted to say I'm glad you had I Watched You in the running because I felt very TJ putting that on my list. I was like, this is such a TJ move.
No, I was super tempted. It almost made it. The City We Live In just won out because it was like a similar style of song,
Right.
like a more kind of laid back, pensive song.
Yeah.
But no, it's great. That
is.
song's awesome.
It is. All right. So our next, we have a 3-way tie, but we do have two 1-on-2 lists. So our official number 9 is going to be Burn It Down.
Nice.
It made it
good.
And then tied for number 10, we have Wide Awake and Popularity.
Ooh.
Wow. So how do we decide?
No, we've done
we
it in
have
the
to-
past where
do we
we've
have to
had
force it?
We've put two
for
as
like
a
our
number
Emory
10.
one
We'll
and
allow
our Amberlin one we
Okay.
had tied for number 10s. So
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
here's my
Great.
only argument against that of why we should put Wide Awake as opposed to Popularity. Wide Awake is, I think, the most streamed song on Cruel to Be Young on Spotify, at least, and it still trails Popularity by like 10,000 streams.
Wow.
And more.
So basically, you just want it on the
and
list
more
so we can like
people should listen to Cruel to Be
get
Young.
people on the Cruel to Be Young
Yes,
train.
I'm
Yeah.
evangelizing.
No, I'm on
Cruel
board
to
with
Be
that.
Young.
I'm super down with that. That
Like
feels
literally
like a valid
no
argument.
tracks from Cruel to Be Young are in their top 5 most streamed on Spotify,
that's
which is
so
a
cool.
shame.
Yes.
That's insane.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Popularity's
that's
for
my only
popularity,
argument. That's my only argument for putting Wide Awake above Popularity,
It's a good point.
just because
I
I
hear
want everyone to listen to Cruel to Be Young.
Well, we can list it first if you want to. We can still have the tie if you want, but you can list it above
There it
Popularity
is,
if
yeah.
you would like.
Cool.
Yeah.
Give it the
However you want to
priority
do it.
slot.
You make
That's
the
true.
graphics,
I
so
do all
you
the-
have final
all the
say. Yeah.
designs. Yeah. And I'll just wait until seconds before you have to post it, so you can't give me
Be
any
like,
feedback.
here you go. Can't give me any. Can't give me any notes.
That's my whole MO, baby.
Does that work when you're doing stuff for clients?
Oh yeah.
We need this. We need this now. Oh, here it is.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't make any
No
changes.
notes.
Yep. No, this has to go to the printer in 30 minutes. Oh, okay.
That's awesome.
I didn't want you to change anything.
Mhm.
That's
That's
good.
so funny.
Sweet.
well,
Okay, guys. We did
Yep.
it. This
We
is
did
it.
it.
Man,
We did it.
I'm a little sad. Junezetta's over.
I'm sad, but it
I
couldn't have
know.
gone any better.
No,
Like,
it was so
Yeah.
good, man.
yeah.
I
was a
still
blast.
think Aaron Sprinkle popping in halfway through Cruel to Be Young is
Spoiler.
well we did put it in the description.
I know.
I mean, that may be my favorite moment from 4 years of recording the show. I think it was really
It's up
cool.
there. Yeah,
Definitely
it's up there for me.
Features as like a top moment this year so far. Cause yeah, that was just such a blast to have the three of those people
Right.
like remembering and like I don't know, just being nostalgic. That was
Yeah.
such a gift, for
Well,
us.
it was cool
Like
because
I felt-
I messaged Ty right after the recording and was like, "Hey, I really hope the Aaron Sprinkle thing was cool. I was really going more for Oprah than Maury, so I hope it landed a little more on the Oprah side." And he agreed. He was like, "Yes, it was very cool." So
look
That
under
was
your
the
seat.
goal.
You get an Aaron Sprinkle. You get an Aaron Sprinkle. You get an Aaron Sprinkle. Ah!
Our records sound amazing now.
yeah. Okay,
Oh my God.
so
It's been great.
listeners, jammers, thank you so much for coming along with us for our, I was going to say
Our
first.
Junezetta journey.
Junezetta. Yeah, thank you. Because I think it's the last one too.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
Unless they make another record.
until we bring it back.
Yeah, that's
tonight.
right.
Bring it back tonight.
Thank you so much for hanging out through Junezetta with us. And
Yeah.
we want to hear your Bop 10 Junezetta lists, please.
If you feel really strongly about some tracks on popularity that you feel like should be higher, then form your own secret group and then vote to just like sway the numbers,
Right.
to just destroy our
That's some
our
real
intense love for Cruel to Be Young.
some
No,
real
don't do it. Please don't
January
do it.
6th energy right there. Yeah, if you disagree with our final vote,
Or if you are just mad at me and Kylan for putting Sick in the Teeth so low, just
Yeah.
that's acceptable to me.
Yeah.
If you want to,
for sure, for sure.
Yeah. That'd be
Okay,
fair.
I think that's going to do it for us. Thank you so much for sticking around. From all of us here at Church Jams Now, may all your favorite bands stay together. And peace out, Monsters.